Hello everyone, this is Desmond O'Neill here again with another photo tutorial, and today we are going to be doing another fantastic tutorial concerning removal of spots and blemishes. Yes, so today we are going to learn how to remove spots and blemishes in Gimp right after this. And welcome back. This is Desmond O'Neill here of O'Neill Photography, and welcome to my channel Elevation Niche, where we talk all things elevation. That's right, we talk about how to improve your skills, and today we are going to be talking about our photography editing skills using Gimp. Now, if you are listening carefully and you hear something in the background, I live on a riverbank here in Trinidad and Tobago, and that noise that you're hearing are actually the little frogs that make noises at this time. So I hope that it isn't too overwhelming. We end up getting accustomed to it because, of course, this is where we live. And if you listen carefully, you can hear the river running in the background. How fun is that? Anyhow, that's just a little extra information there. But let's get into our topic for today. Okay, so I have already chosen the photo that I am going to be editing. It's in my folder right here. All right, and we are going to be editing this photo right here. So I'm just going to double click on that. It's going to open up into raw therapy very quickly, and here we are. It's in raw therapy. That's how my system is set up, so I can actually do some pre editing here before I send it over to Gimp. But I don't, for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm not doing that. I am just using it as a bypass, a pass through. All right, so this is the photo that we are going to be editing, and I'm going to send it over to Gimp. So raw therapy is going to package it all nice and dandy, and it's going to send it over to Gimp. There for us, if you look at the bottom here, you're going to see the progress. All right. Yes, and so Gimp has received it, and Gimp wants to make some conversion. Yes, we're going to convert it, and here is our wonderful photo that is in Gimp. Right, so if you don't know, we are going to use non-destructive editing for this photo, and all we are going to do is we are going to duplicate the photo. I'm going to go down here and click the duplicate icon, and so we are going to be working on this top piece here. Right now, if I close that, it's because we haven't done any editing as yet, you will see that it is the very same thing. But stick with me, and I'm going to show you today how to remove blemishes and spots using Gimp. So I am pressing plus on my keyboard, and I'm going to enlarge the photo somewhat, because we are going to be doing basically some micro surgery on this photo right here. Right, so I just went enlarged it quite a bit using the plus sign on the keyboard, and as you can see, the lovely model here, the photo is great. It could be a little bit on the soft side, but we're gonna leave it. I like to see the texture in the skin. If you would go back to my previous photo, you would see that I like to see the natural skin texture. I don't like to see the models or the subject with this smooth over skin, like if it's porcelain, as if they are not real. You know, the skin has natural textures. So for this one, I am going to do some very light enhancing here. I am going to go over into sharpen, and we did this on the last time, so I'm just going to sharpen this image just a little bit. All right, there we go. So I'm going to click OK. So this is us before. You can barely see the difference, and this is us after. All right, but we are not dealing with sharpening today. We are actually going to be focusing on these blemishes. If you notice right here, here is one right here. There is one right here. There's the next one right here. All right. Let me get a proper right. Good. So there is one right here. There's one right here. I'm just circling it there so you can see. There's one right here. There's one right here. And this is just some additional information. Before you go ahead and remove blemishes and so on from your subject, please get permission from them to do so, and I will tell you why. Some people actually have what I would call trademarks. Some of them it's a mold. Some of them it's what they call a beauty mark. Some of them it's their trademark mold or their trademark bump or skin discoloration, and they want to keep it there. Please find out from your model, especially if it's a wedding or a birthday photo shoot, a portrait shoot. Find out from them, tell them, listen, these are the adjustments that I'm going to be doing with the photo. Are you okay with that? All right. In some cases, your client needs to sign a disclosure that, this is the blemishes that they're going to take off, and so on. All right. So with that said, we are going to be going in, and I'm going to be showing you how to remove these blemishes, and it is quite easy. It is quite simple. It is not difficult at all. So don't get into a panic. Don't grow any PTSD symptoms or anything like that. We are just going to be doing some very, very light editing to the photo. Great. So what we are going to be using to get this with now, for me, I find the photo, it's very well exposed, but I like it a little bit more on the dark side. So I'm going to go into bright contrast, and I am going to, let's push the contrast a little bit. And what the contrast is doing, it is going to make the lights light and the darks dark. So there's going to be greater separation between what is light and what is dark. Great. And that's where we are. And this is before. Notice it's very, very pale like. And this is after. And I am very certain that you will appreciate the fact that we have enhanced this photo somewhat to make the model appear more realistic. Although the human skin itself does have some striations, does have some marks on the inside, and all of that. All right, so we are going to be using, to get rid of these blemishes here, we are going to be using the healing tool. The healing tool, it will look like two plasters, two band-aids, as the Americans call it, two band-aids. We in the Caribbean here will say two sticking plasters. All right, two band-aids. It's this little icon right here. It's the healing tool. And the healing tool is a versatile tool that you can use, and as the name implies, it actually heals or clones, and there are two different ways you can, it is both the healing tool or the clone tool, it is very, very similar, but for all intents and purposes, we're going to be using the healing tool. Now notice when I selected the healing tool that the icon, the pointer actually changed, and I am using the / key to get it down small, and I am using the right open bracket key to enlarge it. And all you have to do is to just make sure that the circle or the sample area is just a little bit larger than what you are going to be healing and that kind of thing. All right, so It's very, very simple. All we do is that we are going now on this model here. Before we get into it, I want you to notice something. On this model, she has very light makeup on, and where one of the blemishes are is where the blush section of the makeup is. All right. And so if we are going to be healing this section here, we want to heal from where the blush is. Now the blush is more pronounced on the cheekbone area. So just around here, we want to sample an area, and I would probably use like right close to here. All right. So to sample the area, so basically here's how it works. You are using a sample of the skin that doesn't have any blemishes to cover the area that has the blemish. It will make sense in a little bit. Stick with me. All right. So we are going to sample here, and I'm going to click Control. Notice that right now there is a no entry sign on the sample circle. When I press Control, the no entry sign goes away, and I can click that area there, and my computer will say okay, so that's the area that is sample. And then I would release, and I would come across here, and I will click on that blemish, and notice it is gone. So let's look at before. There's the blemish. Let's look at after. The blemish is gone. Now notice what I could have done, because I have done some contrasting, I have done some sharpening of the image. All of that is on this copy layer here. What I should have done is to just duplicate it so that you would have just seen where I sample from, but it's quite okay. We are going to do our second one. So this second one here is just underneath the sample, the blush area here. So I am going to sample here by pressing Control. I'm going to sample this area here, and I'm going to come across here now, and just like that, it's gone. Sample again, it's gone. So this is before, and this is after. And we are going to, I'm going to press plus on my keyboard again, because there's one right there. We're going to come up here, and we get a real nice close-up of the model, and we're going to do some surgical precision here. I want to carry this down a little bit. Okay, carry this down a little bit, and build it back up here. Right, so this is a nice sample size here, and I'm going to sample this piece of skin right here by pressing Control. All right, and notice that the X is there, so I have sampled that area, and I'm going to click here, and it's gone. Okay. There's some other ones that might be a little, you might not really notice it, but I can click here, and it's gone. And I can do that whole day. Within the blush area here as well, I can even, like this one here, I can take that out by clicking here. So that's the sample area, and I can go here, here. Right, and you see how fast it is moving. I'm going to go right here. Great, and that is how you remove blemishes using Gimp. Very, very easy. So sample here, remove this little pimple here, right here. You can remove this one right here as well. Okay, and you can take a look. There's some more right up here. This one right here, we want to remove that. So we're going to use this sample here by pressing Control. We're going to click the area that we want to sample from. And notice that there's a circle that remains there. So that means when I come across here and I click that, it's going to show you that it's actually sampling from there, right? And that is how easy it is to remove pimples in Gimp. All right. And I just love how the natural skin looks. As I said before, the natural skin with all of its imperfections, all of the little striations and so on, it makes you look more human rather than the AI type look that you have going on these days. I don't like, now it's of course the taste, but I don't like that AI look that we have today at all. All right, so I'm gonna sample here again, take out this little biggie right here, and I think that's about it. So if I can press the minus key, right, and I reduce the enlargement, I'm gonna press minus again. Great. All right, there we are. And here you have the model, and this is the finished product. And you can see what we looked like before by actually blinding the edited layer. So I am going to minus the edited layer to show you what the photo looked like originally. This is the original photo, and notice that there were the blemishes here and here. Let me change the cursor there for you, and I can enlarge that a little bit, right? So we had blemishes here, we had some blemishes here, little pimples, and yeah, we had this little blemish here, then you had a pimple here and here, okay. But if we to click our edits, notice that the pimples are gone. All right, and with the pimples gone, we have a finished photo. All right, and from here we are very much finished, so we can export this to our desktop, and I will show you how it is to export this. You go to file, and you want to go down to export as, not save as. If you go to save as, it's going to save it as an XCF file, all right, which is something that Gimp alone can read. But we want to export this file, right? So export as, all right, and you can name it up here whatever you want. So I am just going to put finished product or finished photo. Let's try that. I'm going to put finished photo. Great. And notice that there is some file extensions here. You must go down here and click the file extension. So you click that plus sign, and we're going to export this as a JPEG. JPEG is the file format that is used commonly to share photos across the internet, because it's actually going to be a compressed form of what we have been using here. So here it is, JPEG image. You click that. All right, so now the file extension changed above finish photo, and you can either create a folder, or I want to put it to the desktop. So notice that desktop has been highlighted here. So my name, I put the name, I changed the name so that I can recognize it. I changed the destination so I know where to look for it, and I also change the file extension, which is right here, the file type. Now Gimp has, this program is so versatile. You can actually use so many different types of file extensions. Like for instance, you can export it as a Photoshop image, or as a PNG image, or even as as a raw image. You can put it back as a raw image if you want. You can put it as a web image, a TIFF image, but we're going to be using JPEG here, and it has been selected as can be seen on top. So the entire file is finished photo .jpeg or JPG, and we can export right here. And that is how you export using Gimp, right? And it's going to ask me about the quality. All right, all the parameters are fine. I don't change anything. It is going to give me EXIF data, so you can also check and see the exposure, the type of camera that was used, the date that the photo was taken, and all of that. And I will click export right there, and quick and easy in a flash. Gimp was able to do it. So now let's go and check out on our desktop where we exported this file. Let's take a look at our photo. Great. So here is our photo. And notice it has the name that we had put it on. And I'm going to just double click that. Great. And here we are in our image viewer. And I can press plus on the image viewer here. And if you notice, wow, it is quite different. And I'm going to do a side by side. I want to do a side by side actually. All right, so this is our image here. And I am going to do a side by side with the one that we had from before. Okay, so I don't want to open it up in raw therapy. I want to use something else, so I'm going to use the image viewer here. Great. So let me minus this, and I am going to show you a side by side. I don't know why it's blurry here though. All right. It's a little blurry on this side, so let me open it out in raw therapy then. So at least we're gonna be able to see how it looks side by side. So I am going to minus here. There we go. Right, and I am going to enlarge it. There we go. All right, so here we see the difference between the two. All right, I'm going to enlarge that a little bit. So you have a nice side-by-side comparison. Great. So are we seeing the difference between our edited photo here and the original photo here? Right? This one is a slight bit soft, as well as with all the blemishes, but we were able to use our healing tool to get rid of the blemishes here from the model. Right, there were some blemishes on this side here. We were able to remove those as well. Right, these two are totally removed. All right, and these ones over here, this one here especially, totally removed. All right, and as I said before, please always get proper permission from your model before you do your final editing, so that they won't have any problems if their blemish or their mole or whatever, what have you, is a a trademark that they would like to keep. All right. So I hope that you were able to follow along with me as we edited this photo here today, and I hope that you learned something more about this powerful editing tool that is called Gimp. It is what I use. All right. It is what I use. All right. It is my go to program. And I just love using Gimp so much. I just love it. All right. So if this video has been of any value to you, please like and subscribe to our channel. And if there is a particular GIMP tutorial that you would like us to do, please indicate in the comments and we will get it done for you. All right. So this is Desmond O'Neill from O'Neill Photography, and I am going to see you again on another video. Take care, guys, and have a great one.